today's live feed. Melissa is going to be joining me here. She's scrambling right now looking for a charger cable for her computer. I can hear the cable rattling around upstairs, which I think she probably found it now. Now the thumping of footsteps and the pitter-patter of little Melissa feet. There she comes. Hey, hello. So I wanted to do a live feed today to kind of give you guys an update on what's going on. I was giving them the play-by-play as you were watching around finding the cable.
Could you hear me?
Yeah, we can
hear you. Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
My computer was almost dead.
Yeah, there we go. See, we're prepared for these live feeds. I thought I was. And then she up and bolted right when I was about to press play.
I thought I was ready. And then it said, battery is not going to happen.
Oh, that happens to the best of us. Well, it's been an interesting week. I went out with my aunt today, my Aunt Janice, and we spent some time together. This is how my day started today. I thought that I was going to be filming a video today, and so did she actually. She had arranged for me to go to the City Archive building and tour through. They have a warehouse that's full of stuff that they've been saving from salvaged buildings and historical items and stuff for the past, who knows how long, 100 years or something like that. And they've been keeping it in this building in case, I guess, they're going to do a, like they have Fort Edmonton Park here and they have historic houses. Sometimes they pull stuff from there and they decorate. Super chat, got to get to that. Good to see you guys. Live Funky Aardvark. Thank you so much. So I'm all prepared and I started doing the intro of the video. You know, I picked my aunt up in the old Jag and we get there and they said, probably not going to film this time. Oh, it's a little disappointing, but I did have a good time with my aunt, and that's what it was really all about anyway. But I'm going to give you sort of a bit of a rundown on what the place was like. It's an old brewery in Edmonton, 4 stories at least, really high cement ceilings, and every floor has different things on it. One floor is like sewing machines and chairs, another one is like pianos, and there's some old signs from movie theaters and stuff. There was a lot of cool stuff. The hard part is going through a place like that for me and not trying to buy everything. Can you imagine? Mm-hmm. It was so tough. They had so much stuff sitting there, and they said that, they keep the stuff warehoused there, but it might not see the light of day. It might not ever go into a building or be used for anything ever again. And they had this really cool thing that I wanted so bad. It was a giant electric shock machine. It's not like from a creepy hospital or anything. It was from a school it was from 1896. It was from a school, and it was the size of like 2.
It was a shock machine.
It was a shock machine. Oh, well, that sounds bad. I'm going to get to what it was for in a second. It was a static shock machine. And what it was a giant wheel. And then I'm talking big, like the size of 2 upright pianos on top of each other. Can you imagine how big that would be? It was pretty big. And it was glass cased, and there's a big wheel inside, and then these wires coming out, and 2 Edison type batteries. This still sounds like a torture device, but it's not. Hey, Kathy, welcome to the live feed. We've got Johnny Cash's daughter, Kathy Cash, is in the house. Yay! Hey! And Rich Taylor and a whole bunch of other folks too that I should start saying your names and cheering as well.
Matthew.
I, of course, am excited when Kathy joins us because I'm a big fan of her dad's music. So anyway, nice to have you on. So this shock machine, not a torture device. It was a teaching device for a technical school from 1896.
Jeez.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's in the basement, in a dank basement. Somebody sent us $5 and said, for an apple tree in the new homestead. Thank you. Thank you. And it might never get out of the basement of that warehouse. And I would love to have that thing as a display. Do you imagine cranking that thing over, or even having it on electric motor on the other side so you can watch the static flowing through and going into these old glass batteries? It'd be such a cool display. But alas, it is sitting in the basement of a warehouse, and I couldn't even film my adventure there today, which was disappointing. But maybe, because the lady who showed me around, his mom watches our channel and apparently is a big fan, will convince her daughter to let me go in there and film the next tour. They had parts of hotels, in old hotel movies where they have the little cubbies and they have the room keys in it and whatever. Yeah. Well, they didn't have that. Wow. But what they did have, they had a little electric box with all the room numbers on it and little arrows, and it would point to who was calling for what in the room. They had really, really neat stuff that was salvaged from buildings, and would love to go back there and you got the hiccups?
I got the hiccups.
Were you gonna have hiccups the whole time?
I hope not.
Should I scare you?
Yeah, you should scare me.
I bought another car.
Oh, that's not scary.
No. Well, you're aware that I bought the station wagon, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is I'm going to transition. I'm going to move topics now. So I had a fun day with my aunt. That was the part that was fun. Somebody said, "Looks like you're describing a Van de Graaff generator." Maybe I was. I don't know. It was a big wheel that created static electricity and charged batteries, and it was awesome. And it was from 1896. It said so. That's how I know.
Oh my goodness.
It said it right on it. It said, "I'm from 1896." And then it haunted me. It's going to follow me around like it's just a disembodied electroshock machine following me around. Woo! That went dark. The car.
Van de Graaff.
This is what I was going to talk about. Oh, Hitchcock, thank you so much for the super chat. Melissa's looking up a Van der Graaff machine generator right now. I think it came up. She's looking it up to see if it is what I thought it was. We're looking online. No, it wasn't a Van der Graaff generator. Oh, they're also showing bands. That's not the right
I
thing.
accidentally went to
Is it a
Wikipedia.
band called Van der Graaff Generator? That'd be pretty cool. My dad used to play bass for Van der Graaff Generator back in '87. It sounds like a weird, that'd be a progressive rock band. Oh, it is a progressive rock band. I was joking. I'm like, that sounds like a prog rock band. Sure enough, what are they? It's a prog rock band.
Okay.
Go figure. And that's my theory, is that you can say that somebody played bass or, tambourine or something and name anything. Yeah, my uncle played tambourine in GE dishwasher back in '72. GE dishwasher, was that a thing? Because every name is possibly a band name, is what I've learned. Patricia George. Oh, thank you so much. She's sending us brick money for the house. Thank you. So that's weird. We got some kind of random bug.
I've never even seen that bug before.
I don't even know. It looks like a flattened turtle.
Okay.
Do you want me to take care of this bug on our...
I can take care of it. Curiosity. What is it? Curiosity Edmonton?
This is live. I'm going to... I'm not squishing it. I'm catching and releasing a bug.
What's the email again?
CuriosityEdmonton@gmail.com.
@gmail.com. I'm on it.
You realize that the only thing on this
he
table
he squished it, or picked it up with the Kleenex and threw the whole thing
Well, I
outside.
threw it on the table. I'll go get the Kleenex later. But that means your sun hat is on the table from earlier. That means that thing was crawling around on your head.
That doesn't surprise me.
It looked like a nickel with legs walking around. Like that.
It's not better on my hat than in my hair.
Yeah. It's gone now.
Oh.
I was talking about a car before all these other things went haywire here. Are we still live? Are we still working?
Hold on.
Okay.
That's my thing.
Melissa's just checking to see.
Yeah.
I bought a 1960 Plymouth. And it is a station wagon. And if you go on my Facebook page or on Instagram, you will see a couple pictures that I posted of this car. It is the ultimate rat rod. Here's what happened. I'm gonna lay out the timeline for you here.
Dave said he saw your car. I saw it in your video, Dave.
Oh yeah, did he post it?
No, he didn't say it was your car, but he did a walkthrough of the lot.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, the car was there. This all starts with a pocket watch. A week and a half ago, I had a pocket watch in my display case, a Waltham, nice pocket watch, dress watch. I had it for $350 Canadian. Fella says, I got a couple Project Honda bikes, motorcycles. I need them gone. One's dismantled and one hasn't run in forever, and they're both rough, but I need them gone. And then he said, if you're interested, I'll trade you for that watch. And I went, heck, even for parts, that's got to be worth it. So I went and I looked, and I went to this fellow's house, and he had the Mecca motorcycle collection. It was every kind of cool motorcycle you could imagine was there. Nortons and Triumphs and old BMWs and Ducatis and stuff going back to the 50s and 60s. Anyway, a lot of motorcycles. And I'll get to the reason why I was looking for motorcycles in a bit, because it does all make sense in the end. Anyway, so I end up with these two bikes. I get them back to the store, and they're not in any kind of great shape, obviously, because I trade it for a $350 pocket watch. And they're in the garage at my shop, and I've got no room to do anything in there because it's super full. So I'm driving with the kids the other day, And I'm thinking to myself, I got to get those bikes out of the garage. Like, I can't walk, I can't move, they're in the way. And I decide to drive past a used car lot here in town called the Little Lot, which is basically, it's a car lot that sells old cars.
If you
and it's little. If you remember back to the video I did with Adam, and I was driving around in that old Nash that I had, the cute little Nash. I really liked that car. I was driving around that cute little Nash. That came from that same car lot. Anyway, it's also close to our house, so I decided to pop in there. And he had an old 1960 Plymouth station wagon. And darn it, if I didn't really think the car was cool. Now, the interior is in bad shape. The headliner's been taken out. The carpets are taken out. But there's no rust.
You're getting all emotional about the car?
I'm getting emotional. Noodles from Red Deer, thank you so much for sending the super chat. So I look at the car and I'm like, man, I can't really justify spending money on anything like that right now because we're saving for a house and we're trying to get stuff fixed. But it's a neat car, and I don't know. I'm kind of thinking that, you know, if I can get rid of my Volvo, which is a practical and reliable vehicle, I would prefer to drive an old station wagon like that as my daily driver. So anyway, I talked to the owner there, and I didn't want to pay full price for the car, but thankfully for me, he ended up taking the two motorcycles on trade, and I got myself, not rusty, but a derelict old 1960 Plymouth station wagon. And it's at the shop right now, and we're gonna try and get the muffler and a few things fixed and see if we can get it to be roadworthy, and see if I can drive it. But here's the thing about that car. I have never driven the car. I looked at it, and it's one step above being in a farmer's field, like forever. It's one step above a scrapyard kind of car. Maybe a few steps above that. I shouldn't be so hard on it. But it looks like if you parked it in a field with a bunch of junkyard cars, you'd be like, well, that one's not too bad. But it looked like it would fit in. So I get it towed from the shop today, and I get it towed over from the dealership to a repair shop that I've used before. And the repair shop says, we're really busy right now. Can you drive it through the shop and put it on the central hoist? And he throws me the keys and he walks away. I've never driven this car. I don't even know if the brakes work on it. And never started it. Nothing. No idea. It's a 3 on the tree, and it's been a while since I've, you know, some of the shift patterns are kind of the same, but I couldn't remember what the shift pattern was. Usually it's in and up for reverse, and then first, second, third, kind of like that. But he's like, yeah, just bring it in. And I had to pretend. I don't know if you guys have ever had those moments where you have to pretend like you know what you're doing. I do it every day. But you have to pretend like you know what you're doing. So I'm like, no problem. And I'm like, meanwhile, they're just like waiting for me to start the car. And I'm like, okay, let's try this. Pump the gas a little. And sure enough, the darn thing starts up. Boom, starts right up. Oh, Ellen McIntyre, thank you so much for the super chat. The car starts up. It doesn't sound bad either from needing exhaust. And then he's like, yeah, just go drive it around, turn it around, and come back in. I'm like, okay. This is when I feel like a 12-year-old kid who's in over my head. Like if you're 12 years old and your dad told you to go drive a combine or something for the first time and you live in New York. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Anyway, I figured the car out. Meanwhile, it's super loud, and it's in their shop. And they're like, get it out of here. Go drive it around. So I take it in the alley, and the brakes go all the way down to the floor. But it somehow stops. Right when I'm lurching forward and thinking I'm going to run into their dumpster, it stops. There was just enough brake pedal to stop the car. So I imagine the lines need to be flushed out. Or
oh my goodness.
Yeah. And then I had to drive it into their shop in between a bunch of hoists and other mechanic tool kits and stuff. Like they have their toolboxes by the hoist, and I had to kind of maneuver around it expertly. Like right to the, you know, if you've ever driven into a shop like that and they're like, bring it on in, and you have to get it into like the millimeter of where they want the tire to stop. I did it. He's like, right there, a little more, and stop. And I was like, whoo, I was sweating. Like, you know when you sweat so bad that it comes out of the top of your head somehow from nowhere else, just like the top. You're like, where did this come from? I must have been nervous. But anyway, so I drove my car for the first time, and it was an experience, to say the least. But I'm impressed that the car started and drove and stopped, and it looks like it was just pulled out of a field. So that's something. MB Fleur says, sent us a super chat. Thank you so much. Says, love all you and all your fantastic journeys. Thank you for spreading fun, goodness, and joy from Edmonton to Port Huron, Michigan. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Melissa is not unenthused, Chris. She is reading the comments. She's like, what? They said, why does Melissa look so unenthused? She's just reading. She's reading comments right now. That's what she's up to. Are you unenthused?
No.
Should I make it more interesting?
Yeah, tell them about your other driving adventure today.
Oh, this is the, okay. What was my thing that I was talking about? A Plymouth.
Oh, a Plymouth, a piano.
A piano.
And Farmer Alex.
And Farmer Alex. Okay, the Farmer Alex story is the one that's going to come later on. The piano. I was going to talk a little bit about auction results. If you guys were following the last auction sale, it was a lot of the stuff that, if you remember when I did the Musician's House series, I found missing keys for safety deposit boxes. I gave those to the owners because they're not rightfully ours. They're to the person that, you know, got the house. And they found crazy stuff. I mean, just absolutely crazy cool stuff. They put a few of the items through, a few like 400 of the items through that ended just, what, a day or two ago? On Saturday, I think, or Sunday. And I think they got about $57,000 or something. Oh, from an 80-year-old lady who bought and traded since I was about 6. Well, thank you, A. Hitchcock. Thank you so much, so very much. That's a very kind gesture. Anyway, thank you for that. I was talking about the safe deposit box keys. I'm getting verklempt.
Yeah, why do we have like a... I know somebody said do you want me to grab a water?
That'd be great if you don't mind. It's super dry out, and I had some pistachios before the live feed.
Yeah, I think
not a great thing, never a great thing to eat before you do a live feed. A, you get all little pistachio, like that peel stuff stuck in your teeth, and your throat gets all dried out.
Yeah, mine's kind of dry too.
Yeah, so Melissa's grabbing me water. Thank you, sweetie.
You're welcome.
But the auction. That wasn't my stuff, as you guys probably know. We helped to promote the sale for them. We did a little video letting people know what was happening. None of that was my stuff. And that auction was set up by the owner of the items, who is also the owner of the house. Now, a couple things to note from that sale. One, he kept back the really big diamonds and the really big stuff. And I mean, there was crazy stuff. At some point, hopefully I'll get a chance to show you guys what was there. Apparently it's like pirate treasure came out of those vaults, and there's still a couple more to open yet. But what he did put through the sale, there was a lot of things that looked like diamonds, but he didn't want to spend the money to appraise it. So he put it through the auction as white stone. And a lot of people were writing me saying, it's listed as clear stone. Is it a diamond? I said, if it's in a 14 karat setting, it's probably diamond, but I can't say because I haven't tested it. Yeah. Well, we had one of our viewers take a gamble, and she spent $190 on a cluster ring, clear stone cluster ring. Yeah. And she spent, what, $350 on a tennis bracelet.
That other one was $400.
$400 or so on a tennis bracelet. Yeah. And it was labeled as clear stone. Both ended up being diamond. She had them appraised. The tennis bracelet came back $3,500 for appraisal, and $750 for the diamond cluster ring. So she got a heck of a deal. And that's what I was saying on our fan club forum, was saying, is this stuff going to be diamond? And Elaine's on right now. I said, guys, I can't tell you if it's diamond or not because I didn't test it. But if she had the stuff in a vault, it's probably going to be diamond. So but guess what?
You never know. It was a gamble. Like, it could have just been
cubic.
With cubic in it, or white sapphire. So.
But this is Betty Joan Rack we're talking about. Betty Joan Rack doesn't put cubic zirconias in a vault. So if you were bidding on stuff on that auction and you ended up with something labeled clear stone, you're probably going to be really surprised when you get that order. Oh, man.
I was so happy for her. I'm glad she wrote me on my YouTube channel. Yeah. I was pretty happy because I said that it was probably diamond, but there was no way to know without being tested. Yeah. And I'm glad she took the gamble, and it turned out well for her. So. Well,
if we help promote a sale, or if we maybe what we'll do, we have a diamond tester, and I would really think it'd be good for him to test the stuff, and then
at least give it to
even
him.
if it shows as diamond, then he can decide whether he wants to do the appraisal on it or not. Yeah. But some of you got some really crazy good deals out there, and I'm so happy for all of you. I'm happy for you. I don't know how the owner of the house feels about it because he's saving up for concrete and stuff. But I think that's still gonna be enough for concrete. This leads me to the piano. This is the piano portion of the talk. When I met with this gentleman and we did the update video of the house, he let me know that Madame Rack's house is going to be put back to use as sort of like a meeting place, a crash pad for musicians, more or less, where they can do little quartet practices and stuff, and you know, a safe place, a safe house for musicians. You know, when your wife doesn't want to hear you practice the drums in the basement or hammer out on your ivories like Jerry Lee Lewis all night. So this is the piano. I decided that it would be best if Betty Jones' piano went back to her house. And it's going to be picked up on July 13th.
Oh, that's soon.
Yeah, so July 13th, Madame Rack's piano will be returned probably to the exact same spot it was in her living room to begin with, except her house got renovated all around it. It's kind of a nice feeling to know it's going to be there. We were going to put it in our little sort of cafe build, but you know, that space is not super big, so we have an upright piano we'll take there instead, so we can still have musicians and not take up a whole bunch of room. But it is going to be great that it's going back to her house. I'm happy to see it go back to its former home. Let's see, I'm going to read some of the questions here as we go too, and then I'll talk about Farmer Alex today. And yes, you'll notice that I'm a tad bit darker than I was.
You're even darker than I am, and
yeah,
I'm
darker than Melissa. We've been out maintaining our property, maintaining the site where our future home is going to go. And I think I mentioned on the last live feed we did when we were at the property, we announced that we got the acreage. We basically blew all our money, is what happened. But I shouldn't say we didn't. We invested our money that we had in land that we will eventually build a house on.
Otherwise, it would have just been sitting.
Yeah, and when I said at that point, I was really stressed because I wasn't able to figure out how to get the money, because we have the money technically. It's in this house that we live in right now. The problem is it takes 6 to 9 months because of winter and stuff here to get a house built. So if we sell our house, we have nowhere to live for 6 to 9 months. And there's 5 of us.
Sorry, there's a moth going for you.
There's a moth over me? It's on the wall over there now. What's with the bugs? I guess it's summertime.
They probably all came in on my hat.
So I was trying to figure out, do we sell the house? Do we rent somewhere for 9 months? And that's going to be really expensive. Then we'd have to pay to store our stuff. And it's not great for the kids to be uprooted.
Twice.
Yeah, then you have to move twice. So I was thinking, like, how the heck do I get this house started and get them to start building it in the time that we are trying to get going? And we weren't having luck with the banks at that time, but I think we did find a bank that's on board with helping us out. So with any luck, we'll just get a temporary loan.
For the year.
We'll remortgage our current place and then use that money to build the new house and then sell the house and pay ourselves back. So I think we got it all figured out, so it's all good. But this brings me to why we're over at the property. And so far we just called it the property. We were thinking of names.
Yeah.
One of them was Daisy Acres because it had daisies all over it. And then we got a notice from the county saying, those daisies are noxious weeds. You got to mow them all down. We're like, well, we best not call it Daisy Acres.
I think they re-inspect everything. Before we got the property, I mean, to be fair, that entire property was daisies we had to take care of. I knew they weren't allowed. So the second that we actually were allowed on the property, we took care of that anyways. But sure enough, somebody complained, of course, because it was a field of daisies. So.
Yeah, Melissa's like, ooh, daisies.
Yeah.
She was like in her glory because she loves daisies.
I picked so many daisies. It was, I picked some more today.
Yeah, we have a flower vase of daisies over there right now that came from our property.
Yeah.
So I had to mow. And it came with a little garden tractor. Lori's World, thank you so much.
Hey, Lori.
That type of daisy isn't allowed. Kathy's saying daisies aren't allowed. This type of daisy, apparently, if they blow into a pasture, the livestock will not eat the pasture. They avoid the daisies.
They're called oxeye daisies or something.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they're called now.
Anyway, they are considered a noxious weed in our area because it does affect our farming population. This isn't the farming thing that I did, though. I mean, we got a little John Deere tractor, and that makes me feel a bit like a farmer.
Where this is going
is that I brought some little clippers out to the acreage to take down some small trees.
There's like a little clump of trees that's just overgrown trees. It's not big. It's
a lot of shrubs. Yeah. And most of them are probably like, a half an inch. Like they're just little saplings.
Yeah.
So I started clipping them over, and then I thought, I bet this little John Deere tractor I got with that mower attached can probably trim the grass and maybe a couple around the outside. Well, heck, it made short work of the ones around the edge. didn't seem to bother it at all. Just chippity choppity chop. Off it went. So I decided to take a wider swath in. Before you knew it, I was out there obsessively for hours today, mowing down this scrub brush bush that was there.
With a lawnmower. Like, I mean the riding mower. But
with John Deere riding lawnmower, I'll have you know.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
But you know what? It worked like a darn. And now...
It sounded awful. The neighbors, for sure... We haven't even met them yet. They're probably wondering what.
They're probably the ones that complain about the daisies because they've seen me doing stupid stuff already. I also realized, okay, I'm not, if you didn't know, I'm not a farm boy. To the point where I was clearing around some trees with the tractor and I kind of came to a bump in the road. Boop! And the lawn tractor stopped and I thought, well, that's kind of weird. Looked like a big pile of grass there. You know, there was no concrete or cement or anything that I could see or feel. So I thought, oh, what the heck? I guess I just need to take a bit of a run at it. So I put it in reverse and I eyed it up. You know, like if it was a Western movie, I'd be squinting at it.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang. Stephanie, thank you so much.
And Matthew also.
Oh, thank you, Matthew. Matthew Fox, thank you.
My shed on the property fund.
Oh, thank you. Nice to see you back, Matthew. We were just talking about you today. So I look at it and I put it in reverse and I back the lawn tractor up and I decide I'm going to gun it. And it looks at me and I look at it and I put it in forward and I take a run at it. But it's not in full high speed. It's just kind of like a little like pokey slow. And I kind of get up in the middle and it's teeter-tottering. Whatever I'm on, it ain't moving. It's just stuck there. And so not only am I high-centered on something, I am bound and determined that I'm going to use the machine to get itself off and not me. So I turn the lawnmower attachment off, which is up here. I turn the mower blade off. I put the blade attachment all the way up so the wheels are kind of lower. And I go to put it in reverse. The problem is it's still teeter-tottering back. So I'm rocking on this thing. Melissa didn't see this, but thank God. I'm rocking back and forth trying to get the rear wheels to touch ground again. The whole meanwhile, I should mention that I am about this far deep inside of a cedar tree or an evergreen pine tree of some kind, whatever it is. So, you know, those big fluffy evergreen bushy limbs, they're like all in my face. I'm like this. So the whole time I'm like stuck and I'm like trying to get out and I'm teeter-tottering. Anyway, so I get the thing off. It's not high center anymore. The back end kicks in and I get off of it. Now, a normal person would give up, but I'm not a normal person. So I back up a little bit further this time. This time, I take it from the little turtle mode to the rabbit mode, and that means you're gonna go faster. So I go, it's revving like crazy now, and I'm looking at it and I'm going, I can see that's just a pile of stuff. It's just a bunch of leaves and maybe a couple twigs in there. I'm going for it. So this time it's not on turtle speed. So I put it into gear. I release the clutch.
Oh my gosh.
It's in high speed, as high as you can go. Cindy from Red Deer, thank you so much. It's in high speed now. And I put my foot on the gas, which on a ride on lawnmower is kind of abrupt. You're like, whoa! And then it's just kind of not very fast. But still, you know, it was not like I was like this. Oh! There wasn't like G-force happening. But I get up and I'm like, it's happening. No, high centered again. And so I rocked it off again and I got it off. And I looked at myself, and from here up on my white t-shirt was completely stained yellow mossy green.
Yeah.
Like probably my face too. Everything was like covered in tree sap from here up.
We were having my brother, that was last Sunday, that this story was. He mowed down the trees today.
Yeah, last Sunday. This is
last Sunday. He went out early to mow.
I wanted to look nice for her family.
Yeah, so he went out early to mow. And I had a bad feeling that maybe he forgot sunblock or his hat. So we went out earlier to make sure that he wasn't like passed out on the lawnmower doing circles. I wanted to make sure he was okay.
We'd have a really clean circle of grass.
And then he's telling me about how, oh no, you didn't tell me right away because I was asking what happened to your shirt.
Yeah, sometimes never ask what happened to your husband. If it's like yellow only from here up, there's never a good story attached to it.
It was like dandelion yellow all over his shirt. And then
yeah, so Melissa's not here. Yeah. I get myself...
Well, I would have filmed it, you guys.
I had to sit there and rock myself off. And again, this time I'm deeper into the brush. So it's like...
Oh
I'm like, you know, it's like the tree is giving birth to me. It's like, the tree is giving birth. So I got myself off. And you know what? I thought about doing it a third time, but I didn't. But I do want to be able to mow around that tree, so I'm gonna have to go there and figure out what the heck is going on, like why there's such a big high clump of dirt or whatever.
I filmed you mowing down the thing of trees.
I don't need that evidence out there.
Somewhere it shall be seen.
So
funny.
I am not, you know, there was a moment though. There was a brief moment before all this happened, before I proved that I was a city boy on a lawn tractor. There was a brief moment where I thought, I'm on a tractor. It's a lawnmower. I'm on a tractor, just like my grandfather and my grandfather's grandfather and my grandfather's grandfather who lived a life of farming. Why, this is what I'm meant to do. I'm living the life. I'm in a field on a John Deere tractor. This is what I'm meant to do. 5 minutes later, I'm stuck in a tree giving birth to me. Grandpa, I did not do good by you. This is not the way my ancestors intended things to go. I don't know. Maybe I'll end up having a green thumb, because I'll fall in the grass.
Somebody said, I'm surprised that you guys aren't watching the Montreal game.
Yeah, we don't watch a lot of hockey.
I don't watch any hockey. I'm not a hockey person.
Yeah, so Alex the farmer needs a little practice. I will get better.
Seymour.
Yeah, I will get better. And the lawnmower is in one piece. There was a brief moment that I did have to hammer the deck back out because it got crunched a little bit into whatever I was running into, and I had to
What was
fix
it in the end?
I don't know. I
thought you looked what it was.
It's like dirt and I don't know. It's like they were shoveling stuff there. There's a pile of, maybe it's a body. That'd be awful.
Why? Right to a body.
It's a long pile of something there. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it's probably just like wood underneath a bunch of needles or leaves and stuff there. I don't know. I'll go find out. But today I successfully trimmed back the shrubbery. Did somebody say shrubbery? I need 3 shrubberies. We had a lot of shrubbery. I got it down to 2 shrubbery. And next time I go out there, I'm going to be getting it down to 1 or no shrubberies. That's the plan.
Said, all right, okay, this is for the entertainment value of this live.
Sometimes I'm glad that, Patricia, that the cameras are not on. I mean, I'm sharing this story with you. I'm sure your brain can connect what happened. I threw that shirt out. We put it through the wash and it didn't even get clean.
I forgot that it was stained, so I didn't put any stain remover. So then I put it through like normal and then decided, let's set the stain right in there with some heat. I bet I could have gotten it out if I'd remembered.
Yeah. Oh, we have a weed eater, but we don't have a gas powered one yet. Guys, I will figure this whole farming stuff out before long.
Well, and then the weed eaters that we need, you need to wear like rubber boots and long pants and safety goggles with.
Not like my swim shorts, like I just stepped out of the pool.
I mean, you could if you don't appreciate your toes or legs, because stuff whips at you.
Yeah, I know. So that happened last week, and then this week. Oh, it might be there are big anthills. Here's what.
Oh yeah.
Here's what happened. Okay.
This is what happened today.
I want to paint this picture for you. Melissa is off with the kids, and they're looking at the property and stuff, and I am trimming the shrubbery and with a lawnmower. Meaning I am driving a lawnmower over.
It's not like little, like they're thin little trees, but they're still like my height or taller.
Yeah,
like,
but they're thin.
Like, yeah, they're thin.
It was doing it. It was taking care of business.
It
is what it
shouldn't have
was.
been taking care of business.
It was taking care of business. Anyway, so I'm clearing a path, and I'm like, I can drive through here now. Now I have lawn in that area, and I'm pretty impressed with myself that the thing mulched it right back to grass, more or less. I am impressed with myself and impressed with that little John Deere, and I'm super happy. And I turn a corner on the lawnmower. This is me, just in this shirt. This all happened today. Yeah. I'm out there, and oh, look at me. I'm making stuff flat around here. Woohoo! And I turn a corner in the lawnmower, and I go to take a second swath at it. What's there? I don't know if you saw the latest Indiana Jones installment where they had the anthills that are like 40 feet tall. In my mind, that's what I came across. Because I kid you not, I learned a couple things today. One, a John Deere tractor, when going fast enough, will drive over top a giant landfill of an anthill. Secondly,
it just shot so much dirt out the back.
I'm looking over. This is what happened. So I turn a corner and I hit a giant anthill, and it gets stuck right where the blade is spinning because, it's a tall anthill. I see nothing but a cloud of dust and probably some very surprised ants shooting out the side. I look over and I see Melissa holding a camera up to me. Did you get footage of the anthill?
No, I think I got footage of you mowing over the...
Oh, are you going to pull it up? This is going to be embarrassing. Melissa might have live footage here.
Hold on, I'm just going to see.
She's seeing if there's live footage of this all happening here.
Oh, you better believe there's going to be...
Oh, no. Okay, this is...
Just wait, I want to make sure. I just want to see how...
Okay, you can... But look, you can see the dust cloud. It's still settling in the background. You got to go back. You got to go back. Let me show them and explain the video.
Just keep it on this one because then there's other.
Okay, can you guys see that big mushroom cloud of dirt right there? That was the anthill blowing up in the background. That was the aftermath. Yeah, so that is the ridiculousness that happened today. Look, my story is true, and look, I am wearing that same shirt. Guys, and all I could think of is, ooh, I probably angered a bunch of ants. Like, ants aren't lazy. The minute something bad happens, they gather together and they're like, let's hop to it. They really get together and fix stuff in a hurry. Because I went back around the second time around, they were like, what happened? That's all I can imagine. If I could hear the anthill and hear what they were saying, they'd be like, what happened? I don't know. We better fix this fast. Ah! That's what was happening down there.
I've for sure never seen anybody mowing over trees before in my life. So I took it as evidence for when our lawnmower stops working or the blades are completely dull of why that happened.
I'll probably have to sharpen those blades again. Yeah. But it sure is doing a good job of it. I'm hoping the ants build their house down because I plan on mowing in that area now regularly.
The ants could just move somewhere else.
Yeah, they'll probably... There's ants on that property.
Yeah, and it's always somewhere that you're standing. I was picking daisies off of the side because I don't want our neighbors to have it, it seed and then our poor neighbors get daisies in their beautiful manicured lawns. But I was standing, I'm picking everything, and then I was getting bitten, and I look and I'm standing right in an anthill. Yeah,
there are anthills there. There was a moment. Somebody said, Kathy says her husband hit ground bees and they tore him up. Be careful.
Oh, yeah.
I did see a couple angry bees floating around there. That's why I keep it on rabbit speed and I plow through and get the heck out of there. But I did get a little stuck on that anthill. And there was a moment where it was blowing that dirt out, which is full of ants. And likely they're not happy about what's going on. And you're just thinking, I'm wearing shorts today. This is a bad time to be stuck on an anthill blowing it all about wearing shorts and sandals. I chose poorly today. I wasn't planning on mowing in there, but I thought I'm going to be ambitious and get rid of this shrubbery around here. Well, anyway, we had an atom bomb of a ant cloud go off there. And the good news is I can mow that part of the property. The bad news is, at what cost, good sir? At what cost?
I was thinking it, but then you said it. I'm going to grab the daisies. Because there's a mystery plant I saw today. Hopefully it's not another
Melissa found some flowers that she doesn't recognize. And you guys have been so good at identifying flowers. But they're not open right now, though.
I'll show them if they'll be close enough.
Okay.
It's a giant thing of daisies, but I had them sitting...
Sorry, just one sec. Stacy says, I guess I missed you mentioning, but curious how much you were able to give the owners of the collector's house. Or there'll be a video. We'll get to the flowers in a second. The folks that have the collector's house, that was Morris and Donna, are very private and very shy people. And I think the experience of seeing that their home had become cluttered was a bit much for them to bear. And perhaps it's not over yet for them. Perhaps collecting is still in their future. So I don't think they're not necessarily open to opening their houses a second time. I wish they were. I would say that we gave them quite a bit more than what originally was planned. And from what I understand, they're happy. But the experience for people who are very shy and a little bit embarrassed of their situation has not been great. So I'm respecting their wishes and I haven't done an update video on that. But they are in their house and they did get quite a bit more money than they were expecting. And as far as I'm concerned, it's all done and over with and all went well. On to the flowers now.
So for the daisies that were not allowed in our area of Alberta anyways, they just look like regular daisies, but then they have these leaves. The ones that look like dill we can have, but these ones
if it's fuzzy leaves we're okay.
Well, but these ones look like little saw blades kind of.
Yeah.
We can't have that, but I do, and it's in my house. But I found these. They closed because I had them sitting.
Well, you gotta hold it up.
I had them sitting on. Do you want to hold it? My hands shake.
Okay.
They closed because I had them sitting on a lawn chair for like half an hour. Now everything's kind of coming back to life.
They kind of look like when they're open. They look like like a dandelion, but
I've
bright
never
orange.
seen anything like that before. I've never seen those flowers before. This is my
Orange hawkweed. Well, it's a weed. It's a pretty weed.
We both. Thanks, Shannon.
If these are weeds, I'm not the only city person here. Melissa grew up on a farm. But we picked weeds apparently and put them in a flower pot in our house.
I'm all for weeds. Yeah, that's what it is. You're good. That's exactly what it is.
Orange hawkweed. Yeah, that's what it is.
I've never even heard of that. It
invades grassland and quickly forms dense mats of rosettes.
Man, I hope that
makes everything
our
acidic.
county isn't watching what else I have on my land.
It's a prohibited noxious weed. All the things that we think are pretty are prohibited noxious
what
weeds.
What about those purple flowers that you find after fire?
Lupin?
No.
Well, we have lupin on the property
yeah,
too.
There's lupin. But what was the purple? Oh no, I can't remember.
Purple flowers that come after a fire. I can't think of it. Yeah.
Oh, I can't.
Fireweed. Somebody says.
Hold on, let me just look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's called fireweed, that would be...
Somebody made the suggestion of moving into the Potter's house until our house is built. That would be a...
really long drive to work.
Well, no, it would be a good idea. However, the Potter's house is 3.5 hours from where we live.
It is called fireweed.
Fireweed. Yeah.
Yeah, we have that. Hopefully it's not an option.
So unfortunately, moving into the Potter's house isn't an option right now either. I think I've got it figured out there with a short-term, a 1-year loan that once the house is done, we can just pay back to the bank. So things will come together. It just took a lot of talking and chatting and talking to bankers and trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah.
But we figured it out. Oh, I almost drank your water.
Well, you almost got my cooties.
Ugh, girl cooties. Too late for that. I'm in it now.
Were you gonna say I'm in it to win it?
I'm in it to win it. If you were gonna be cooties, I would have caught them a long time ago.
Who won the clothing redesign contest?
I haven't seen the announcement just yet.
Oh, it was the artist that won was the one that had the green suit jacket with the darker embroidery on it.
For those of you that don't know what this is, Swish Vintage Clothing, who ended up with some of the clothing from the musician's house, ended up taking a lot of the really tattered clothing, and you should check out their Instagram page too, Swish Vintage.
I think it's Swishy Girl.
Swishy Girl on Instagram. Okay, Melissa's gonna look it up. They took a lot of the damaged clothing that we didn't think was salvageable, and they got fabric artists, to basically remake, redo, and redesign that clothing into something very unique and different. And some people did amazing work. There was some that was so talented I couldn't even tell what the damage was. There was a floral pattern skirt, and there was one area on it that had a hole. So the girl actually embroidered a matching flower over where the hole was, and you couldn't even tell. She did such a good job. So they did a fantastic job of it, and did a contest, and a lot of the proceeds of those sales were going towards Madame Rack's piano fund, which is paying for students to take music lessons for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, it was such a nice idea.
At least the next decade or so, anyway.
Yeah.
Jean Mills sent us $20. Thank you, Jean. Angela from Swish is very artsy. She's been absolutely wonderful to deal with, and she's been a wonderful partner.
I don't know if you guys can see that. It's under Swish.
We gotta hold it
Swishy
up
Girl
longer.
or Swish Vintage. I don't know if you can see
That's
that.
her Instagram there.
It's kind of fuzzy.
Yeah.
But if you look up Swishy Girl or Swish Vintage, SWISH, and you can also see they have a webpage, www.swish-vintage.com. And they're fantastic people.
Oh, Matthew just posted the link.
Oh,
Yeah, thank you, Matthew.
You're good, Matthew.
It
was fireweed. I saw it. Hopefully that's not a horrible weed too. I saw it in the bush, way off in the bush.
Meryl says construction update.
We got grass. Oh, unless she means the store.
She means the store.
Oh.
Where our future home is going to be, there's no construction update there yet. Other than the fact, I guess I'll give you both, because we are actually embarking upon 2 construction projects right now. One is the store, which you all know about, hopefully. Yeah. For those of you that are new to the channel, we fix things up. Cars, houses, build things, I don't know. We fix a lot of stuff on this channel. The other thing that's going on is we're building a store, and we're going to be building a house. Our potential new dream house. So we have the plans for the house. They're in with the county getting approval. That buys me basically 7 more weeks to try and figure out financing so we can actually start construction. So I'm like all steam ahead with no gas in the tank. That's how I'm living my life. Pedal to the metal with it's on the, like, not only is the gas light on right now, the needle has gone past it. And I'm like, just a few more miles. But I figure if we can push full steam ahead right now on that house build, by the time I figure out financing and stuff, we're gonna be in a position where we'll be approved and ready to go. So not to worry. If our future home builder is watching this, don't worry, we'll figure it out. You'll get paid. Don't worry. We talked to a home builder.
Our home builder that we're thinking about actually watches our channel.
He watches our channel. Yeah, because we're gonna do a YouTube series on building our house too. And
well,
so
he's
probably like,
we'll figure it out.
So you booked a home builder without having the money in place, huh? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's
fine.
It's fine. It's no big deal.
Whatever he's on right now.
I hope you like tradesies. I got a whole bunch of hockey cards. Gas for the tractor. Thank you, Rex. I might get myself in trouble with that tractor, Rex.
I know he's gonna get himself in trouble. Like, first he tried to run over probably a stump.
Let's not talk about it.
I can't believe you high-centered yourself twice. I mean, you got it once and you got off, and then you decided, let's go again.
Yes. So the other store, the build, to answer your question that we got back, we are progressing with construction. I put up an update video not that long ago about the build. The roof was on. We were waiting for the interim inspection, which happened on Friday. And I didn't understand it's funny, the inspector, very nice guy, came out, kind of reminded me of your dad in a way. Just he's about the same age and kind of looked the same. Well, he didn't look the same, but he reminded me of like a guy your dad would have been friends with anyway. So he came out and he looked at it. And he looked around and he grabbed a few things like beams and he scrunched his eyes and he scratched his head and he asked a couple of questions, which I was able to answer. And then he said, well, I'm going to pass it. And then we just stood there talking for a bit and I showed him around the store and stuff and we just had a nice little visit. So the store did pass the interim inspection. We were kind of on hold. We couldn't progress with more work because you can't close off the framework until they approve that things have been built properly. Now, basically, it's at a stage where final inspection will be the next thing. So that means we get to basically plow through and finish the whole building. So today, they were putting the roof on. They're up on the roof putting the shingles and the vents and all that on. In the next couple days, they're going to be getting the siding. And I was explaining, somebody said, what type of siding are you using? I said, we're using 3 types of siding. 3 types, they announced. That seems like an awful lot of different types of siding. That's going to look like a mismatch. And I explained myself. I said,
oh my goodness.
I said, the side of the building facing my neighbor's wall has to be steel. So that's steel. That's going to be white painted steel siding. It's fire rated. Got it. That's one type. The front of the building, well, I wanted to make sure that it matched the historic nature that we're going for. So we're doing proper wood shiplap on the front of the building. That's the front of the building. The side of the back, which nobody is ever going to see, was done in white. It will be done in white vinyl because it's cheap and nobody's going to really see it. I'll know it's there, but I don't care. It's inexpensive and I'm doing the parts that matter the most in the expensive materials. The wood shiplap for the front will look proper and get painted. The side of the building will be steel, so it will be fire resistant, almost fireproof, I would say. So 3 different types of siding. Then it's windows, doors, drywall, electrical this week at some point. Things are plugging away. Things are coming along. And I'm making sure that we end up putting air conditioning in the new building, because if we're putting food and stuff in there, we don't want to have, it's already a struggle. We have to put a portable air conditioner kind of in our candy department in the new store because it gets so hot on hot days that if I don't have the AC unit pointed at it, I end up with mushy chocolate bars where you go in and the chocolate bar, there's nothing on the top and it's all like bulged out and a chocolate ball on the bottom.
Bruh.
I've had to throw out stuff last year because it got too hot. Didn't want that this year, so this time I parked the AC unit by the candy counter.
Is there any update on the old store?
Yes. I'm going to give you the update on both the Potter's House and the old store. Somebody said, why not sell the Potter's House? It's for sale. And I'll be honest, after a couple of years of not really being, of having access to the house, it needs some work. I've seen pictures. I've not been in the property in quite some time. But I am going to have to, it looks like, re-renovate the property. It doesn't, it's going to need another video series. I'll be going back out there to repaint and repatch and do a whole bunch of work out there. So although we had some very interested parties, the house, when they looked at it, they said the house was not kept up very well over the last year and a half, unfortunately. So we're going to have to go back through it again, but that's okay. We'll get it back in tip-top shape again. We did it once before, we'll do it again. As for the second store,
we need like a drum roll for that one.
We actually accepted an offer on it. So our old store will be sold come August. It's not a money making proposition by any means. However, it's going to free up some equity that was in that building, and it gets it off the books. And my goal at the end of the year here is that we only have our, well, I guess it would be for next year, is that we have only our acreage and only our current store property. That's it. We only need or have use for 2 properties, one for our business and one for our home, and that's it.
Yep.
It's just a long road to get there.
I got you water. The heat wave was so horrible. And I know a lot of people had a heat wave, but for us, 40 above Celsius is too hot. It's too hot. And then yesterday it was like only 16 degrees Celsius. I almost brought out my like winter jacket again. And then today was nice. It was finally just nice. And somebody said, you need to wear sunscreen. You guys, I am the like sunscreen queen, and my sun hat is like a huge one. Like I'm that person.
Yeah.
And we still got so tanned, and I don't think we really got burnt. I get red anyways because I don't react well to the sun. But
it was super warm out.
Oh,
the past
and then
week.
our house is not air conditioned. It has greenhouse qualities to it.
Our windows. We've got a technique though where we close curtains at certain times and open windows at others.
I get up at 6 a.m., open all the windows in the house, everything I can. The doors even, I don't even care if bugs get in. It needs to have a cross breeze. And then before 10 o'clock, all the windows and the curtains on this, what side is this? They are all closed, like immediate, because otherwise it's like having a blow dryer blowing in your house. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
and then watered all my garden and all the flowers before.
What was it in Fahrenheit last week? Like 115 or something?
No, that's too high.
It was
40 degrees.
40 degrees Celsius.
That's only like 90.
Melissa's gonna look up. No, I feel like it was over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And I know some of you are like, we live in that heat all the time. Well, you were smart enough to get air conditioning.
I think it's
it was 104. It was 104 degrees Fahrenheit here, which in Canada, in the prairies where we get minus 40, we just don't expect to have that kind of heat, especially for like a week and a half straight.
Yeah.
So it was pretty brutal here.
Too hot for us.
So because of the heat last week, the guys that were working on my building, and because we were working on getting the inspection done on Friday, they took about a week off and they're back at it now. So I should have more of an update on that building before you know it. Carly says, did you sell the old store? Yeah, we did. They signed papers and put a deposit down with our realtor, so it should be gone August 6th, barring the current renters that are in there vacating at the end of this month and getting the property cleaned up. So everything looks like it's a go and on track, which is fantastic news. All right, so let's see. I'm going to try and answer some questions for you guys. If there's, we'll do a little Q&A at the tail end here before we log off in the next 10 minutes or so. Are you going to put AC in your new house? Yes, we are.
We weren't initially. Air conditioning used to give me migraines, but after that heat wave, we called our
well, he said, do you want to add air conditioning into the property?
We most definitely did after that.
Yeah. So we are going to be putting AC in the new place.
We'll only have to use it for like 4 days of the year, but that 4 days will be bliss.
Well, the other thing was we also added a whole pile of windows in that house because we really love sunlight to come in. So every opportunity we had to put windows in, we put windows
everywhere there could be a window, we put a window. Yeah.
Teresa says, how's driving the Rolls Royce going? You know, the funny thing is, I had it at a car show the other day, and somebody said, I bet you'll never sell this car. And I said, you know what? It's not my dream car. Like the Jag, I like. I like the lines of it. But in all honesty, if somebody had a 21 window bus, like a really nice Volkswagen bus, I would trade straight across and be happy as a clam because I could put the whole family in it. We could go to the beach in it. We had that little Volkswagen van a couple years ago. You're going to have to go back and look through some old videos to find that. But we had a blue, we painted it blue, a Volkswagen bus. And we really, really liked it. And so I would like to get another Volkswagen van. I would much rather have an old Volkswagen van than the Rolls Royce. And that might sound crazy, and you guys might not think that I'm normal in the head, but you know what? It's a happy-go-lucky kind of, it's more me, I guess.
Matthew said the Rolls doesn't drive like the Cadillac did.
Actually, Matthew, the Rolls does drive like the Cadillac. The Cadillac is the only car aside from this Rolls that drives like that. The Rolls is smoother, and it should be, considering how expensive those cars were new. The Rolls is probably the smoothest car I've ever driven. It is like driving on a hot plate of melted butter, like a bag full of marshmallows.
Ryan wants to know, hey, are any of your kids interested in wristwatches as much as you and I? If not, why? It's so awesome.
We are enjoying the car right now. However, it is going into the shop tomorrow to get a couple things addressed. One is that I'm unhappy with how the ride height was set in the back, and that the back of that car has an adjustable ride height for the rear end. It's sitting about I measured, it's about 2 inches too low in the back. So for me, I notice it every time I go out that it's like this.
You gotta take Dave for a ride in the Rolls before you sell it, he said.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get the Dave. Sure, I'll be happy to take you for a ride in it. Sydney and Red Deer, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you very soon. There are all sorts of things that I could do to make that car slightly better, but it's rust free. The top did get repaired. Our upholsterer did finally finish the convertible top and created a boot for it. So that is all done. And the boot is just the cover that goes over the convertible top when it's down. It's a little piece of fabric, leather that clips on there. So the car is very much complete and working well. It's just going to get the ride height fixed and a couple little things done tomorrow that are, I believe, should be covered under the warranty of the work that they did at the shop. So hopefully it won't be in there for too long. I'm hoping it'll be like in and out in the same day. Let's see. Disney cast members wants to buy the Potter's house, somebody says. Let's see.
They're in here. Let me just
We're going to read your comment. Disney cast member. Send us an email if you are serious about buying the Potter's house. Here's the thing. If you live in Alberta, or you're thinking about living in Alberta and you want to live in the town of Provost, and there's actually a lot of people who are finding they can work from home right now.
So a lot of people are going from larger cities into the smaller towns and everything, because that's right, you can move your job anywhere when you work from home.
And your money goes a lot farther.
Yeah.
Living in a big city has become so unaffordable, especially in like Vancouver and Toronto and stuff, that the thought of owning your own home is almost impossible. Where if you move into a smaller town like Provost, we're asking, I think, $179,000 for a 2,300 square foot heritage home that we put that much money into fixing it up.
And there's like, how many, it's on 2 lots, that one, right?
Yeah, it's on 2, it's a double lot.
Yeah.
It's 75 or 100 feet by 100 or something. It's a big lot.
That's the thing. You can get a beautiful heritage home that has an amazing yard. It's right by a school in a great little town.
Yeah.
For that house here.
Oh, that house here would be like probably $750,000 here.
To $1 million, because of the lot size, I bet it would be a.
And heritage homes in the city are actually quite desirable. To have a heritage home is a big deal in the city. In the country, they're just like, some people are like, oh, it's an old house, but I think that mentality is changing a bit. So we have the house listed. I'm going out there on the 15th of July, and we're going to re-renovate, which is basically a lot of paint and patching and drywall and stuff that needs to happen.
If somebody was actually interested in the house, though, we could paint it.
Oh, if somebody was going to be like, listen, I'll buy this house if you paint it the colors I want, I'd be like,
if we're painting it anyways, it would make sense. Like, there's no point in us both putting money out.
Yeah, so if somebody's on the live chat and you're actually serious about it. We had somebody that was from, I think somebody who watches our channel went and looked at it. And they were really excited about it. And they wanted, I think they were in Cochrane, Alberta, and they said they were interested in the house. But I have a feeling that they went through and the house was probably, the people were still living in the house. And I think it was messy. And it's in need of some cleaning.
It's lived in right now. So it's easier when
it's lived in.
Yeah.
Yes. So it needs to be renovated again.
Well, we're going to do a renovation series so people can see the beginning and the end. And that should answer why we have to re-renovate. Yes,
and I'm going to pick some different colors this time, and that Disney cast member keeps saying she wants the house as is. Well, then write me an email. We'll chat. If you are actually serious about it, that would be awesome because the money from selling that house would go directly into building our new place. It'd be a chunk off of the cost of our build. It's a lovely home. I was, you know what? If that house would have been here, I would have lived in that house. That third floor is so cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just a big kid.
No, it's a cool house. That is a cool house.
Maybe it's that I'm a big kid that I wanted to put a fort on the third floor. I thought that I could have. I'm like, I could put a swinging hammock up in the rafters and have like a train set going all around me or something. This is what, like, when guys, you know, think of doing stuff in their house, it's weird stuff like that. Like, I'm gonna put a hammock up in the attic, and I'm gonna put a train set around the bottom, or a slot car set, even better yet. Slot cars. But now train set might be better because slot cars, they go off and you got to get off your hammock and go fix it. So
I think that in the end, would we plan, Lewis wants to know, would you say you're going to sell the Rolls Royce or do you plan to keep it?
I was going to drive it this year and probably sell it next. If somebody was actually interested in the Rolls Royce, I would sell it.
Yeah, that's not our dream car. Like
if you just look up Provost Alberta Realty, it will come up. It is listed there with Remax. You will find it. There's only a handful of houses for sale there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. What is the black figure from Art Deco period with its arm up on a gold torch? Oh, so somebody's there in the store. I have a statue. It's a Venetian Moorish princess is what it is. It's not classified. If you've ever seen in the store, I have basically it's a statue of an African American lady, and she's holding a basically like a Statue of Liberty sort of deal. She's got a torch in her hand. She's like 10 feet tall too. It came out of an old mansion. It would have originated. It's Venetian in style from the 1800s. If you ever see that in the background of the store,
it's for sale, isn't it?
It's the statue. Yeah, the statue.
No, somebody said is it not for sale?
Oh no, it's for sale. I have it there on display because frankly, it's just beautiful. Like they were very tasteful in how they figured her face, and she's this very pretty lady. She's got a beautiful outfit, and the torch is just a really cool piece. If you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, you have to look at it on some of the live feeds. It's on the live
Sweetheart,
feeds.
While you're talking about this, Eric just wrote, OMG, Alex is talking about my question?
Yeah, Eric, we saw your question come up there. Stephanie Power says, here's the listing. I think she posted the listing for us.
It's not on there, though.
Oh, it didn't pop up, though.
That's because I think I'm the only one that can, or Matthew, can put the website link.
Yeah, we're gonna take some new pictures of it after we renovate.
Yeah.
Because I really want to repaint, I want to redecorate, I want to make it feel like the beautiful home that it should be and was. I want it to feel like that again. And although it's a little tired looking now and is looking a little worse for wear, we will get it back into its proper condition again before too long. But we'll take you along for the ride. We'll do a whole video series on the reno.
So do you have a crew planned to go and help you fix it up?
Yeah, I've got Hans and Zenobia are coming. Wouldn't be a road trip without Hans. And the funny thing was, Zenobia started watching our channel around the time the Potter's House was on. And she actually came out to see the Potter's House on the opening day a couple years ago when we had finished it the first time. And she hadn't even met Hans yet at that point. Now, 2 years later, they are, I don't know if I would say couple or best friends. They're very close. And they're going to be coming out together and working on the home as partners. And I think that that's just fantastic that that's going to be happening. It is serendipitous that adventure led Hans to getting a house, led Hans to meeting somebody that he cares for, and to his life changing for the better. And so to go back there will be a nice feeling.
And I think some of our old characters and friends from Provost will be helping us out on that.
We'll have some of the old gang back, yes.
Yeah.
I might get Carmen, who was there with his twin daughters, helping us last go around. His one daughter was playing the piano for us in the house before. They are going to. He's going to come and do some work on the inside, fixing some of the drywall before we get there, so we can paint. Austin's going to be there helping. So we're going to get a little bit of our crew back together to work on the place, and I'm excited to see. I've given myself 3 or 4 days to basically re-renovate the interior of that house. So that's why I want to make sure the plaster repairs happen before we get there. we're going to have to replaster basically.
Well, you're not going to be able to film the before and after if you do that.
Oh
yeah, but we do the walkthrough first. You can film that.
Yeah, I'll have to. Well, depends. The walkthrough happens after I might get Carmen in. Either way, it's more important for me to get the work started because we need to get the house on the market in the proper condition again. But needless to say, I have to re-mud basically the entire interior of the house and repaint the whole thing. I wasn't expecting to do that much work to it, but it is what it is, I guess. You know, these things happen, and we'll just make the best of it. Let's see. Somebody said, will you do a video washing your car for the first time? Possibly. That 1960 Plymouth that I bought is in the repair shop. It went straight from, and this is how we started off the conversation here. It went straight from the place that I bought it right to the repair shop where we're going to get the exhaust, the brakes checked over, and the radiator fixed. When eventually that car comes back to me, I will put in a carpet kit, and I will try and get the headliner done because I want the interior to look nice. And then yes, I will do some update videos on that. But guys, we are kind of nearing the end of our live feed here. I really appreciate everybody joining us for the last hour and 5 minutes here. I believe that our friend Jakota, who also worked on the Potter's House, might be doing a live feed on his channel.
For Madness Monday.
Yeah, he does what's called Madness Mondays. So make sure to check him out too. He does some fun little things on his channel there. And we appreciate all of you watching. So we are off to get everything sorted out in the near future. I'm going to start picking colors and reimagining. I'm actually kind of excited to re-renovate the Potter's House. I'll be more excited when it sells though. So if you were watching this live feed and you were actually serious about it, know that we are going to return the house to its former glory and it will be delivered in nice condition. Don't worry about a thing. So if you are the person who watches our channel and saw it in person and you were the one that said that the house was needing a little TLC, we will make sure to remedy that. But either way, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day for the rest of it. Look forward to updates coming from us soon, and we'll see you very soon. Bye for now, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.